Divas, and welcome high atop the first tee in the ninth green at Laurelwood Golf Course in beautiful Eugene, Oregon. It's another Chamber of Commerce Day on the Danny and Justin radio program. You can follow us on Twitter and Blue Sky, Danny and Justin. Also on all of the pod platforms, wherever you're podding. It's Amazon, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, Odyssey. I'm not going to name them all, but also look at us. We're on YouTube. Hi, kids.
I'm in the middle this
time. That's right. And did we planned this, didn't we? I had the blue shirt on. You've got the white shirt on. Sporting the Fox Sports, Eugene and Newport. Bigfoot Beverages. The studio is live out here at Laurelwood, and come on out and join us for a frosty one if you so desire. Come on and get a quick 9 in if you want. We're going to do that this afternoon after the program is over with, and a big show today. Mike Parker is on the program, the voice of the Beavers. We've got some special guests, people that have supported us out here. This is our last regular show of the summer, and then we're going to do once a month throughout the winter and into the spring out here at Laurelwood. We're not going away, but the regular weekly Thursday, Weekend Eve in the Wood, is going away. This is the last program, so we're going to kind of celebrate a little bit here at Laurelwood. I'm Danny Havel. Right there next to me is my tag team partner, Justin Grossdarner. We call him Baby J. What a boy.
Well, I know this is great radio, but when I came here today, the first thing I said to you was, wow, it smells good around here. It just smells amazing. You can smell the smoky, just whatever meat it is. I love it. I love it.
Well, so Chef Aaron up there and his assistants and everybody up there is a 5-star pub. It's not pub food. That almost seems like it's taking it down a notch. It is 5-star quality food, and they're just so friendly upstairs. It's like I keep saying it, but it's true. It's like Cheers out here upstairs, and then the course is beautiful. We'll show you if you're on the YouTube channel right now. You can follow us, Danny and Justin, on YouTube. I know it's upstairs, live up there in the pub as well. But there's a shot of the course. And again, this is great radio, isn't it?
I know,
but it's beautiful as again, it's another gorgeous day. Although yesterday we had the lightning, it's knocked us off the air for a while.
Right.
Man, I still don't understand what happened there. I was in Corvallis, and everybody's saying, my phone's blowing up. You guys are off the air. You're off the air. And so that's when I called you.
Right. Well, not to dwell on it too much, but yeah, it was definitely not up there in Corvallis. I know that I did a chat with somebody up there, and they were like, oh, man, didn't even realize that it was a problem down there. And it really wasn't that big of a problem down here, except for about 20 minutes. About 20 minutes definitely was a costly 20 minutes, I guess you could say.
We're going to have Nick Sams on. We're going to talk about the smoke show tomorrow and what's coming up this weekend. Of course, we got Saturday and Sunday brunch out here at the pub. We've got Jacob with our golf tip. And right next to us, our first guest, we're going to have a celebration of folks. I know Scott Sims is going to stop by probably in the last segment, but a person that's helped us out and has supported us at Fox Sports Eugene and Newport. And by the way, hi, everybody on the coast. It's a lot cooler than it is here in Eugene right now. It is Travis Fountain from the Back Nine. You can find the Back Nine Eugene and down on Coburg Road in the Sheldon Plaza, right next to Safeway, 24/7 access, 365 days a year. They've got a conference room. They've got 4 big bays. You can work on your game. You can play all these different courses throughout the world, and it's not just for golf. They got things for the kids as well. Travis, welcome and thank you. And thanks for the support, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me out. It's good seeing you.
So how nervous were you when you first thought, you know what, I want to do this and I want to build something that, because you're a golfer, so it's the weather can be a little iffy out here in the Northwest, and we know that, and we love it. But when you want to stay active and keep working on your game, it's hard to do.
It is very hard to do. And so we said, how nervous was I, right? When we thought about building the back nine, my wife and I we were incredibly nervous. But I would say that the feedback we've got so far has just been so overwhelmingly good. It's not just for golfers, right, who really enjoy it because it is that premium feel, but even people just trying to swing and learn,
To me.
I'm not mentioning anybody here, but
the man in the middle.
It's for everybody, right? And so even if you are, you considered a pretty good golfer or you're just starting out, we've got a spot there for everybody.
So what I love about that as well, and my wife is learning as well. She's learning how to play the game. And what she loved about it and what she immediately became attracted to is that I can come down there because it's 24/7 access. We can go down there at 7:30 at night and I can practice without a bunch of people watching me because I'm going to shank, I'm going to hit the bad shot, and that's embarrassing if it's in front of a bunch of other people. Then I can work on the game. And what I love about the full swing technology, it gives a golfer instant feedback where the club face is, how much speed and spin, all of that. It's fantastic.
It takes a video of every shot, right? And so I realize I toe every ball. And I wouldn't know that unless I see every time I swing my iron, I can actually see where the ball and the iron connect to each other.
So tell people, because we've got just a few days left, and I've been pumping it all month long, this special that you can get 10% off your lifetime membership.
Lifetime membership, yep. So the promo code is August and the number 10, and that's going to go through the end of this month. And if you sign up for a membership, use that promo code, you're going to get 10% off for life. So as long as you keep that membership, you can keep that 10% off and really have a great value to get, like you said, that 24/7 access is only available for our members. And so if you want to book a public tee time, right, you've got to be between 9 and 8. But our members, you could go in at 2 in the morning, 5 in the morning, like you said, 7:30 at night, 10 at night, whatever you want.
And that's fantastic. It's great flexibility because especially with my schedule and like maybe there'll be a time where the wife and the daughter are going to be out of town. It's just like, you know what? It's 11 o'clock at night. I want to go work on my game.
Let's go swing some clubs.
Because there's no driving range open at that
No
time.
driving range.
So
let's also talk about one other aspect too. We're going to have all the college football games, access to all the Sunday NFL ticket games, right? So we're going to have everything in there for people who maybe you want to go watch your favorite team and get 18 in.
That's fantastic. So talk about the courses, by the way, real quick, because, and it is, I'll just tell you folks, I've played several of them already, incredibly realistic.
Yes.
And you can but you can make the settings easier for you.
You can.
Right. So talk about that, Travis.
Yep. So we've got PGA certified courses. What I like about it is if you were to play, let's say Pebble Beach, everybody's favorite, if you were to play that course at the back nine, it's actually set up exactly like it is in real life. So if there's a bunker on the course, that's exactly where the bunker is at the actual Pebble Beach golf course. So I find that part of it very cool. But then to your point, there is different settings, right? You could turn the wind on or off. So, if you want 8 mile per hour wind, we can make that happen for you. There's also something called terrain penalties, which basically means if you're in the rough or in a bunker, it's going to be a little bit harder for you to hit your shot. Or you can turn all those off for some of our newer golfers and just have an easier time playing.
Well, I certainly would probably have all the settings off. I'm just curious if you talked about it a little bit with yourself, but do you have any kind of anecdotes or stories about the swing technology and somebody that had that like aha moment of like, oh, I didn't realize I was doing this thing, but now that I can see it, I'm able to correct it?
Yes, absolutely. And I can speak for myself here. And so I've added 20 yards to my iron shots just playing in the back nine because I realized I am an over-the-top swinger, which basically means I'm pulling the club way outside and trying to bring it back inside really fast as I'm swinging through. And I've really rotated my swing to, it's called inside-outside path, right? But what that means is I get a lot more purity on the shot when I'm actually impacting the golf ball. And so it's been fun to watch. We've seen it with our members as well, right? A lot of them are coming in. Even I talked to one yesterday, and it's like, I'm getting ready for my scramble coming up. And so he's putting the time in, making sure he's ready to go for these kind of end-of-season tournaments that are happening.
Travis Fountain from the Back Nine here on the Danny Justin radio program. We're live at Laurelwood. Susan Heisey from Bailey and Heisey Real Estate is going to be coming up in just a moment as well. We're going to ask her a couple of questions because the real estate market, when you start getting into the fall as well, it starts to heat up again. So, Travis, one more thing as we're going to let you go here in a second is there's some open tournaments as well. I don't know if those are still available, but you guys are going to be doing this as we go through. And I also want you to mention about, because as we get into holiday parties and stuff, what a great spot. You got a conference room back there. So speak to that.
Yeah, please just reach out to us if you're looking for, like you said, a spot to host, even a corporate meeting, Christmas party, birthday party. We've got a lot of good options for people to be able to either rent the whole place out or a portion of it if you're looking to do an event. And then in terms of other tournaments and things we have going, we've got league tournament play happening already. So we've got something pretty fun set up. If you go to the back9golf.com and then go to the Eugene location and you go to the events tab, we actually have Pebble Beach set up right now for non-members. And you can set up a 2-man scramble and you can actually get in and try Pebble Beach out. The winner of that can get a 1-month membership. So for both of the people on the team.
There you go. That's fantastic.
And then one last thing I would say, in September, we're starting a BOGO public tee time. So it's called Back 2 Back 9. So BACK, the number 2, Back 9. And you can get BOGO tee time. So buy one, take another one, right? 2 hours, come and enjoy yourself.
Yeah, I love that. And the bays are set up great. You can bring your own music in. You can set it up. You've got all of that hooked up so people can bring their tunes in.
Bring food, drinks, come watch some, football. It's that time of year. We're going to be there Saturday having a great time. So
Attaboy. All right, buddy.
Hey, guys, appreciate it. You guys are the best.
Thanks, Travis. Travis Fountain from the Back Nine. I want to encourage you guys right now. You got that membership that's going till the end of the month. August 10 is the promo code. You get 10% for life on your memberships at the Back Nine. Let's bring in Susan Heisey as well here, the Danny and Justin radio program here live from Laurelwood as we are actually staying on time, Justin. This is amazing for us.
That's
absolutely.
Good.
I said 2:10 approximately, and look, it's 2:11. So it might be 2:10 and 49. It's like, Susan, how are you?
I'm doing great.
How's the golf game?
I want to think it's getting a little better, but I don't want to get cocky and screw it all up.
No.
Yeah, but
Well, it's getting into fall. I mean, and we have a few more opportunities, and the weather's going to stay nice, it seems like, for the next couple of weeks. So plenty of opportunities
October
out there.
15th. I say that every year. That's kind of...
Really?
I think.
Okay. Bailey and Heisey is the place you go if you're in South Eugene especially, and Susan Heisey, the owner broker, is here with us. So, Susan, you and I have been talking a little bit off. We've been chatting back and forth, getting ready for this. When I've bought and sold a lot of bought and sold. I have bought homes. I have sold homes. So, I mean, and the first time I did it, there was so much apprehension and anxiety. And then it was a different anxiousness and anxiety the second time and such. So I think the first thing I want to ask is there a game plan? If you have somebody that comes to you and says, listen, I want to buy a home, is there a set of check marks that you want them to think about as they go through that process?
Yeah, absolutely. A couple spring to mind. Right away, go talk to a mortgage professional, unless you're in a cash position, which would be amazing. But most people need, financing, right? So talk to a local, reputable mortgage professional and get pre-approved. They're going to ask for, your income, your credit. They're going to ask you all the stuff. And that process is free to you. And having that level of knowledge is your free pass to go shopping, right? So again, it doesn't cost you anything, but it helps you hone in on getting your financial ducks in a row. So how much can you afford? What are those monthly payments? So that you can confidently, when you're up at 2 a.m. scrolling through, houses, it's like, that fits in my financial world.
So that's great advice, first of all. And I tell you what, that was the first time I bought a home. That was not the way I went about it. And it was just and sometimes you have a level of expectations like, I really like that. I want to go get that. And here's the price. And then you find out, I'm going to have to really reach to get there.
Right. Or maybe there's something you can do to improve your credit that will improve your situation.
Great point.
And that takes time. That does not happen overnight. So maybe you need to pay something off and then reshuffle the cards. That can take months. So the sooner you get going on that, that's when you know you're serious. The other thing I would say is to buyers, hone in on culture and lifestyle. Okay, so there's just... there's this house that you fall in love with, but does it fit in your lifestyle? So what do you like to do? Do you want to golf? Do you want to play pickleball? Do you want, are schools most important? Where do you like to go grocery shopping?
Do you like to go walking?
Do you like to walk? Some people really want to be in the South Hills and they want to be amongst the big trees and have filtered views. for other people, that's terrifying. They don't want ice storms and that kind of thing, you know? So you got to find a couple parts of town that you can hone in on that feel like home and not just be shopping for a house, because the right house in the wrong neighborhood is no bueno. You're just you're not going to be happy. You'll be calling me a couple years later wanting to move again. So.
That pleasant voice you're hearing is Susan Heisey, the owner and broker at Bailey and Heisey. They specialize in South Eugene, but obviously she can help you with advice wherever you're at in Eugene if you want to buy or sell a home. So is the market pretty good right now in terms of people wanting to buy?
No. And my advice, if you're sitting on the fence as a buyer, get off the fence, okay? Because everybody else is waiting too. Right now, I think it's just a great time to be a buyer because you've got houses that are sitting, price reductions. You're in a really good position to negotiate on a purchase right now. If you're waiting for the interest rates to drop, you could spend, say you're spending $2,500 a month in rent. Mm-hmm. If you wait a year, that's $30,000.
That's just going out the door.
Out the door. Never going to see that again. You're paying down somebody else's debt, and you're not getting in, you know? So if you can get in, get a good deal, maybe you can refinance down the road. And if you do talk to financial advisors, they'll say the same thing. You know, don't try to time the market. When you're ready to get in, just get in.
So it's not about finding necessarily the right time. It's just finding the right time for you.
Exactly. Perfect. Yeah, Justin, that's it. Exactly.
Well, see, this is why he's the best sidekick. He's the best sidekick in the business. I'll tell you what. So, Susan, I do also want to ask you about the other side of it, the seller part of it, because I just went through this with my mom, who was selling a house in Independence because she was moving here. She was moving closer to us. So there's also steps that you need to make sure that you are checking off as a seller, because some people just say, hey, I need to get out of this. I need to go. Mm-hmm. And then there's this rush. And again, that anxiety comes in. And I know you can help calm those waters a bit.
I can. I have really embraced in the last few years this idea about a pre-list home inspection.
Okay.
So this is a little counterintuitive, and it's not the way we've been doing it for the last decades, where a buyer gets their inspection. Be proactive as a homeowner and get a pre-list inspection. Say you're going to sell in a year, or you're going to help your mom sell her place or whatever. You know, kind of sounds like an ad for like prostate research or whatever, but knowing is better than not knowing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you get this list. There's two downsides. One, you got to pay for it. It might be around $600 or something.
Okay.
The other one is you got to live with the information. You can't say, oh, I don't like this report, rip it up and pretend you never heard it or saw it. That information stays.
Right.
But you have the luxury of time now to hire a handyman, do whatever you need to do to cross some of those items off your list. Every house has bumps and warts.
Sure.
So there's nothing wrong with that. But getting that list whittled down, and then I find that it helps keep transactions together. You don't go under contract with a buyer, lay awake at night, sweating it out. What are they going to find? Are they going to stick with me? You know, the worst thing that can happen in real estate is a transaction fall through. So the buyer has their inspection, they learn all the bumps and warts,
Sure.
get cold feet, back out. You got to start all over again. People think, what's wrong with it? Price goes down, blah, 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 blah. So it seems counterintuitive, but I really, really can't stress it enough. I think it's important to get a pre-list inspection.
Susan, great advice. And thank you. And again, thank you for your support of us and this program, and Laurelwood. Obviously, you're a treasure for me as well. And it was awesome playing. We finally got to go out and play golf.
We did. That was super fun. Your friends were great. Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, as a part of culture for me, being 10 minutes from Laurelwood is a high quality of life. Mm-hmm. I had the Poke Bowl a couple nights ago, ate here with my husband. Oh my gosh, best I've had since Hawaii. So good.
Is that the first time you've had it here?
Yeah.
Oh, I raved about it. And my wife loved it as well.
Unbelievable. Yeah. Can't say enough.
So how's his game?
Great. Yeah.
He's good?
Yeah, solid.
He talks a lot. I haven't seen it
Solid.
yet. Okay.
Confident. How was your first lesson?
It was good. Yeah, Jacob's great. Yeah,
Yeah?
he does a great job with working with people. I missed the ball like 5 or 6 times, which,
Been
didn't
there.
feel good, but I'm trying to keep a level head and just sort of know like it's about making progress every day rather than doing it right every time.
100%.
So, and listen, I don't talk up my game very much. All right.
No,
I'm just
you don't.
telling you right
You do
now.
pretty good.
I don't. I enjoy it, and I want to get better at it because it's the challenge of it's the old tennis guy in me.
Yeah.
is it's just me against the course. It's me and the ball and the
Right.
racket, and so I
Yeah.
love that. And by the way, she's got some game as well. Don't let her.
I'm
let her
working
fool
on
you.
I'm working on the inner 6 inches, in between the
Gotcha.
two ears.
The mental game.
Oh man, yeah.
All right, Susan. How do people best get a hold of you? Do you prefer the text or the email? I mean, what's the best way?
This iPhone dangerously close to me at all times. I don't care
I
how
know.
you reach
You're on the
out.
course.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah. So
you're
we're on
doing
hole
work.
5.
Yep.
I try to keep it in my bag.
I
But
know.
anyhow, phone or text works great. You can also find my email. I'm pretty easy. If you just Google me, it's hard to miss. Susan Heisey, 541-520-2246.
It's
Got
on
it
the
up
scroll
there.
right now. Yep.
Perfect. Yeah, reach out any way that's comfortable for you. And I work by appointment, and I get back to you as soon as I can.
All right. All right. Thank you, Susan.
Thanks,
we
you guys.
really appreciate you. All right. We got to head to a quick break. Mike Parker, the voice of the Beavers, up next here on the Danny and Justin radio program, live from Laurelwood here on a Thursday.
Fox Sports UG.
I'm Danny.
And I'm Justin.
We talk local sports weekdays.
I'm John Canzano, and I talk Ducks and Beavers weekdays.
I'm Scoot Henderson, and this is your home for Trailblazers basketball. 102.9 Fox Sports Eugene.
Fox Sports UG.
I'm Dan Patrick, and you can catch me weekday mornings.
I'm John Canzano, and I talk Ducks and Beavers weekdays.
Hi, this is Justin Herbert. Catch every Chargers game on 102.9 Fox Sports Eugene.
What are you looking for in a realtor? Whether you're buying or selling, you want someone smart, someone who knows the local market and a track record of making their clients very happy. Hi, I'm Susan Heisey, broker owner of Bailey & Heisey Real Estate, an independent brokerage in South Eugene. I've been helping clients make smart real estate decisions for over 20 years. I work with only a handful of clients at a time, giving them a high level of attention and guidance. Call or text when you're ready to discuss your goals.
Fox Sports Newport.
I'm Danny.
And I'm Justin.
We talk local sports weekdays.
I'm John Canzano, and I talk Ducks and Beavers weekdays.
Hi, I'm Jerry Allen. Listen to the Ducks on 92.7 FM Fox Sports Newport.
Man, this Medicare stuff is confusing.
That's why I've got the playbook. Let me answer all your questions and get the coverage that's right for you.
Don't make Medicare choices on your own.
Go to turning65withscott.com today.
There's no max out of pocket with original Medicare.
I'm Scott Sims. I've spent years learning the ins and outs of Medicare insurance.
Get the coverage that's right for you.
Don't make Medicare choices on your own.
Go to turning65withscott.com today.
Fox Sports UG.
I'm Danny.
And I'm Justin.
We talk local sports weekdays.
I'm John Canzano, and I talk Ducks and Beavers weekdays.
I'm Scoot Henderson, and this is your home for Trailblazers basketball. 102.9 Fox Sports Eugene.
The Danny and Justin radio program. We'll get to that in just a moment. Justin is, I don't know if I can keep him contained for the next 20 minutes. We need to focus and concentrate because we have royalty with us on the Oregon Man Clinics hotline as we head up north just a few paces to Corvallis and welcome in our good friend, the Wizard of Words. It's Mike Parker, the voice of the Beavers. Michael, you got a big game. It's Pac-12 after dark. Cal's coming into town. Is the excitement building now in Corvallis?
It is, but it's difficult for me because I could hear what the histrionics, the almost hysterics going on in the background a moment ago as I was waiting to come on. So rather than, I'd be interested to know what sort of news elicited Justin going absolutely crazy while I was waiting to come on. So I heard Super Bowl.
Ahead.
I heard something or other. So Justin, what do you got?
Justin, what is it?
We're Packer fans over here, Mike. So Micah Parsons was just traded to the Packers.
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
Yeah, pretty big.
Now, I don't know if that guarantees the path to the Super Bowl, but it helps. That's good.
Absolutely. I was getting a little ahead of myself, but it's certainly a big move, right?
Yeah, it is. And I don't follow the league terribly closely. I feel like most national sports talk shows get that covered on a regular hourly, minute by minute basis. So we are ramping up for college football, and the Beavers hosting Cal, and not only a Pac-12 after dark. This is an old Pac-8 after dark, a matchup that goes way back to the Pac-8 days. So I'm excited about it, but that is interesting news, and I'm glad you guys can take it up in the last segment. But for Packer fans, congratulations. That's good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Mike Parker joining us, the voice of Oregon State since 1999. Mike, we haven't reminisced too much, and I want to start there before we start breaking down the game. And again, we appreciate your time. But when you were named voice of Oregon State back in May of 1999, can you roll your mind back to that time and then the progression that's gone over the decades that you've been able to observe and relate and be the liaison for the fan base for Oregon State, and what's that meant to you?
Danny, it's pretty easy because I remember when I got the call, I'd been in sort of an application process, and the jobs are difficult to come by. I mean, people like the great Darrell Lonnie, who was here 29 years before me and one of my heroes in the profession, 29 years. And you talk about, Joe Starkey was at Cal forever, and Bob Rondo and Jerry Allen and people, Brian Jeffries and people who get these jobs, Tim Healy down at Arizona State, people who get the jobs hang on to them for a long, long time. And it's kind of tough to break through. And so, I didn't know if I was ever going to get an opportunity to do what I grew up dreaming and hoping I could do someday, namely call three sports, football, basketball, and baseball. It was sort of a dream I had from 8 or 9 years old, and hit and miss and applying for those sorts of things over the years here and there. And, when it became evident after a few years of a revolving door in Eugene, and when Jerry came in and did such, he's been a legendary, iconic figure. He came in for the 87 season. I remember thinking, well, that door is going to be shut for a long time there too. So I never knew if an opportunity would come because Darrell was doing his thing as great as a play-by-play guy as we've had in the state, in my opinion, for 29 years. And then the opportunity, when it came about, it just through a set of different circumstances. And I applied with many others to try to get it. I did have a bit of an inside track from the standpoint of having filled in on some Beaver baseball in February and March and early April of 99 when Darrell and Kip Carlson and others were trying to come back from different circumstances. I got to fill in and do 15 or 16 games in the season of 1999. And that kind of gave me a bit of an inside path in that I was somewhat of a known entity. And Mitch Barnhart, the director of athletics at the time, said to people, hey, I like what he's doing with baseball. Let's give him a shot, for the full-time gig when it came around. So when the call finally came and Mitch said, how would you like to be the voice of the Beavers? I remember exactly when you say, can I recall? I remember exactly where I was standing when I took the call in our home in Northeast Portland. And I remember ahead of me, it was a weekend of driving a cab. I was in between jobs in the volatile broadcast profession. And so that weekend I was going to be driving a radio cab through the streets of Portland, pre-Uber days and all of that. Cabs we're still king in that kind of late night transportation world. And I had a long shift ahead of me. And I remember when Mitch called and offered me the job, and I said yes, it was a sweet moment in time for me at the age of 40 to finally be getting the opportunity I've been looking for a long time. And I've been forever grateful for it since year 27 coming up. Danny, thanks for asking about it. And I took that night off from driving a cab and was grateful to be given the shot at Oregon State. They gave me a shot, and I've been grateful to be in it for a while now, and I'm looking forward to Saturday night.
Well, we've been grateful for you as well, Mike. You're such an icon up there. You do such a great job. I know Beaver fans around the country appreciate you. I'm just thinking about this current team you've been around. What is the sense that you get for this team that's unique from other seasons? Because I just get the general feeling that there's just a little bit more hope, a little bit more positivity, a little bit more comfort with this team right now than they're, especially comparing to where it was last year.
Justin, it's been a volatile ride for a long time. I remember, again, there's a lot of moments in time over the last several years. Where were you when you heard the news, for example, about USC and UCLA in late June of 2022 announcing their intentions to leave for the Big Ten? I remember when I heard the news, I was literally walking in my house and stopped in my tracks and thought, what? And just sort of uh-oh. And I talked to Jonathan Smith later in the day. Jonathan, what does this mean to you? And Jonathan was in the process, as you guys recall, of building a pretty darn good program in that time period. And Jonathan said, well, he said, it feels like it's 50-50 to me whether the conference even survives. You know, that was Jonathan's view the day he heard the USC and UCLA news because of the other dominoes that would potentially fall, and did ultimately. So I remember where I was then. I remember then August 4th of 2023 with all of the other defections, Colorado leading the way, and then the announcement of the other schools leaving, and then sort of holding on hope that, well, maybe Stanford, Cal, the Beavs and Cougs and others could hold it together and kind of rebuild along the way. Then Stanford and Cal leave, and it was just the Pac-2, the Beavs and the Cougs left. We've been through a long and volatile ride. It certainly has been, and very difficult in a lot of ways. While at the same time, Reser Stadium's getting completed. The momentum for the program was really high. Jonathan wins 10 games in 2022. And going into the last 2 weekends of the regular season in 2023, we shouldn't forget this. The Beavers had built themselves to the point going into the Husky game as the number 11 team in the BCS rankings in 2023, playing the Huskies and losing a close game at home. So, and then following that, losing the game to Oregon with all of the rumors swirling about what Jonathan's intentions were. And then Jonathan leaves, takes a quarterback with him, another player, and it just, there was a feeling of almost, oh my gosh, desolation. And then even that, even with Trent Bray stepping into the floor, taking the job and kind of, keeping the Beavers on a course through those tough times, there was still a lot of uncertainty around it. And last year, a good start at 4-1. The one was a reality check in a sense against Oregon, but the Beavers were 4-1. But then, quarterback play diminished, injuries hit, and the team ended up 5-7. So that's been a kind of a quick summation of our last 4 years or 3 or 4 years together in this wild ride. So a sense of stability this year, with Trent back in year 2 as a head coach, getting his hands back on the defense as the D coordinator, bringing in, finding it through the portal and nil money and an opportunity for Malik Murphy to come in and assume the reins at quarterback with a strong running game returning and a defense that's going to be way better than a year ago. It's a much different kind of mood going into this season opener and this year than it was a year ago. And I guess we'll find out if that's justified come Saturday night against a good Cal team that's going to be very dangerous. And we can talk more about that if you want to. This is a tough opener, but it's a big opener, and the momentum and sense of anticipation is building all week long here, and I'm excited to be part of it.
Oh, we definitely want to talk about the Cal game and a lot of the unknowns there, especially for the Bears.
Yeah, and I think one of the biggest things that I'm looking forward to, and I'm sure a lot of Beaver fans are, a lot of the excitement, of course, about Malik Murphy coming in. What are your expectations, especially early on in the season, maybe just in this first game against Cal for Murphy? Do you think they're going to unleash him, or they're going to kind of let him sort of feel his way along as the season goes?
It's a good question, Danny, but I think they're going to I think they're going to try to not necessarily unveil everything that is in Ryan Gunderson's playbook, and that's a good book. You know, he's learned from a lot of good people, and Chip Kelly and Mike Riley in particular are his major influences. There's a lot of good stuff, but the thing about Chip, and Ryan has said, and Chip predicated everything in his glory days and times on the run game and doing really very good things, creative and unique things in the run game. I think sometimes Chip gets pigeonholed almost as the author, the architect of a blur and going fast and the tempo and this high octane exotic offense. And it was, with the right personnel, it was virtually unstoppable. But he built it out of a strong, first and foremost, run game. And so that's what I feel good about where Malik Murphy is with respect to what they're asking him to do when he has a 1,000-yard back returning and Anthony Hankerson, and a back that I think showed flash last year, but is going to be even more consistent and better this year in Saladin Allah, who has been, I'm glad, shortened to Salah Allah. That rolls off, and that's pretty easy.
Yeah.
I think Salah Allah is going to do some big things this year. The biggest question mark with all of that is, how will the offensive line? That's the biggest thing I'm looking at Saturday night. I know the defense is going to be improved just because Trent's got his hands on it. And the personnel is more experienced and better, and they've added some pieces through the portal. They're going to be much better on defense. I have no doubt of that. But my biggest question mark with respect to Malik Murphy and how the offense functions, Malik can make every throw in the book. He's as gifted physically as any quarterback really that's come through here, from what I can tell. And just in terms of his physical tools and ability to make every throw, but to make every throw, he needs to have time to do it. And an offensive line that's a little bit hurt, banged up still, waiting for a couple of guys to come back that'll start when they do come back. And we're waiting for that. And how will some of the less experienced guys hold up against what Justin Wilcox will bring in terms of good pressure packages, a really stout, strong physical interior. So to me, the game, as it so often does, comes down for the Beavers in the opener and probably throughout the year. The progression of the offensive line, giving Malik time to throw and enabling the run game to continue to function at a high level. We'll find out a lot Saturday night, I think.
The voice of Oregon State, it's Mike Parker joining us on the Danny and Justin radio program live from Laurelwood. We will be talking Micah Parsons a little bit later. We will have Nick from Laurelwood talking about the smoke show this weekend and also our golf tip from Jacob Henderson later on. Mike Parker, a black belt in linguistics and a grandmaster of alliteration, joining us on the Danny and Justin radio program. I want to stay in the backfield real quick, Mike, because it's a question that came up in my mind as I was doing my prep for this. And we've talked to Justin this week, both the head coach, Justin Wilcox. We've talked to the play-by-play guy, Justin Allegri, very fine young man. Mm-hmm. Anthony Hankerson, for me, is really an interesting story. And I'm not concerned, but I want to get your take on his durability as a number one back, being able to carry a load consistently throughout the season of 25 carries. It was split last year until Jam Griffin got hurt, as you well know, and then Anthony had to kind of take over that load. Is he better suited? Is he more physical? Is he bulked up to a point where you think he can truly be that number one back?
It's been a question asked, and I certainly given a lot of scrutiny with respect to Anthony and what they're going to ask of him. But every coach and every player, Anthony himself, comes back to, and I mentioned Salah already. Salah's bulked up.
Yeah.
He's bigger and more physical, and I think prepared to take a little bit of the load off, a la, as you mentioned, Danny, Jam Griffin a year ago. Mm-hmm. Anthony's productivity lessened as the year went along after Jam's injury, because he was asked to do a little too much, and the toll on his body. He ran for 82 yards. You can take your Ashton Genty and give it to the Beavers' own. The longest run that day was our own Anthony Hankerson, busting one for 83 yards and a touchdown in Boise.
Right.
I did, he broke away at the end, and Jim Wilson and I calling the game were a little bit, we didn't know he had that kind of breakaway speed. He hit the hole, he got outside, he goes 83 yards for a touchdown, one of the longest runs in Oregon State history, and it got him over the 1,000-yard mark, and it was a sweet and good moment for Anthony. He may not rush for quite as many yards this year. I think he's certainly capable of 25 to 30 and being a 1,000-yard guy again.
Okay.
But he may not have to in terms of what Salah's going to do. The one thing I expect for Anthony, though, is just simply with some question mark at the wide receiver position, and we have to be honest and say that too, the offensive line, and then who Malik is throwing the ball to. What does that room look like? And with Darius Clemens going out, the only sure entity in the wide receiving core is Trent Walker, who did catch 81 balls for 901 yards last year. That will be a combination that'll be productive and click. Trent only caught 2 touchdowns last year. I think he's ready to be more productive in the red zone in that respect. But who's going to step up alongside? Malachi Durant has improved. They were looking for Darius Clemens to be a real legitimate guy to work with Trent Walker. So that's a big question mark. But while the wide receiving core develops, and all year long, I expect Anthony Hankerson to be much more involved as a receiver in the pass game, kind of Jacquizz Rodgers-esque, Steven Jackson-esque. In their last years, Mike Riley featured them big time in the pass game as receivers, and they did good things. And I think Hankerson is built to do that too. So I'm looking forward to how a variety of ways that Hank will be used this year. And at the same time, taking a little off of his plate and giving it not only to Saladin Allah, but they've developed some other guys too. A transfer who rushed once for nearly 1,000 yards at his previous stop in the Marquise Crosby out of the transfer portal. Corday Glass, a true freshman who they really like. Jake Reichel is a fullback for some short yardage stuff. I think they found a room that's going to be productive in the run game, and whether Anthony gets 1,000 again or not, I think it's going to be a better year for him overall.
And just flipping it to the other side of the ball, when I think about this game, you have a freshman quarterback at Cal starting for them, Jaron Kiabe, Sungapolatele, inexperienced. And I think about this Beavers team last year and the inability to put pressure on the quarterback, something that obviously with an inexperienced freshman quarterback, you're going to want to do. Is that the biggest key to you defensively for the Beavers in this game, or is there another aspect of the defense that you're looking at?
No, I think that is it. And I think we'll find out early. Now, this freshman kid, Mike Pulaski, who does and works with Justin Allegre, was a guest on our show today, and he used a word that I didn't like to hear it from the Oregon State standpoint. We're talking about Jaron, and by the way, I'm glad too he's dropped, and I think we can. It's a mouthful, but if you say Jaron Kiabe Songapolatele back to throw, the throw's already out by the time he drops back. So no. JKS, I'm hearing, but today Mike was saying Jaron Songapolatele. And that gets out a little quicker than Jaron Kiabe Songapolatele. Right. So we'll probably just go with the last name or the first on occasion. But Mike Pulaski, a former great Cal quarterback himself, said this kid has, quote, ungodly talent, unquote, and that he can make every throw, that he's really adept. He's big, he's strong, he's physical, big arm guy, moves well on his feet, et cetera, all the qualities you want. And Cal's had a lot of outstanding quarterbacks through the years, and he seems to be right in that mode. But it is his first game, and he is playing at Reser Stadium, and he is going up against Trent Bray's defense. Trent's going to have some things ready for him to make it difficult, but I expect Jaron to make some throws and hits. But you've hit on the biggest moment. We'll find out again Saturday night. Did the Beavers amp up their pressure packages? I think they have, and they'll show them. And they're going to give a lot for Jaron to think about where the pressures are coming from. Trent does a great job with that. So I think they'll be aggressive in making the kid earn everything he gets and maybe get him off his feet a few times and off his spot and making him work for everything. But to me, that's the biggest question on defense. I think they're built to be better against the run than they have been, with some additions on the interior front and some guys getting healthy. But the edge rushing, the variety of blitz packages have got to get home more than 7 times. Last year, 7 sacks last in the FBS. They've got to improve that this year.
Well, Michael, I know it's going to be a fun night. The brand new stadium look and everything that Beaver Nation is going to bring to bear. It's going to be loud. I believe it's sold out. Cal's coming up. Last year, you got a little chip on your shoulder. They kind of worked you a little bit down there in Berkeley. So I mean, everything's set up on the table for Trent Bray. And last question for you. So what is your expectation? I mean, and what is the sense and the feel in Corvallis coming into this game?
I do think, and I cannot play. I've got to stop short of the pocket schedule game, which is the favorite game for football fans this time of year all over the country, with people going through, okay, Texas, whoever you're playing, you're off at 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, 3-0.
Yeah, we're not going to do that. No.
5-1. It's a great game. We all play it. We all do it, and we have different versions of it. Most optimistic, worst case scenario, probable outcome. I can't, as the voice of the Beavers, go into any game and say, well, I think they're going to lose this one. It's just not something I can do, even though I think there are probably some losses on the schedule in 2025. I don't know where they're going to come or whether ones are going to come, but I will say this, Danny, in terms of expectation, I expect the Beavers to be back, and that's not back in a bowl game. And that's not just me. I mean, John Wilner, who covers the conference with Canzano and others very well over the years, Wilner projects the Beavers into the Holiday Bowl this year, the long, elusive holiday. So he sees a requisite number of wins to get into a bowl game that the Beavers and the Beaver fans have kind of longed to go to at some point, never have. He projects whether that's going to happen, who knows. But I think people on the outside of the program are looking at a team that's going to be considerably improved and make a run at a high-quality bowl game. And that, to me, if the Beavers do that, they've met and maybe in some minds exceeded expectations under the difficult circumstances they're operating in as an independent.
Well, and I'll just say the Danny and Justin radio program, which makes no bearing up there in Corvallis or in the landscape of sports talk or media, we've got the Beavers at 9 wins this year, and that's we're sticking solid with that, and I don't think that's going to be below. I think that's going to be 9 or above, and we appreciate you.
We're going to have to bring your show into the local market when you say things like that. That'll resonate with Beaver Nation, that's for sure. Danny, quick thing I heard you say, you're going to get to Micah Parsons, but you said we've got golf tips, we've got this. Who's giving the golf tips? Is it you two or somebody going to give a golf tip from local?
No, we actually have a pro, Jacob Henderson, the cooler, is going to be here giving the golf tip as he does every single week. Yes, Michael, it's not Mike.
Not that I'll be listening because I haven't picked up a club in about 25 years, but I'm glad to know your listeners are going to receive some true wisdom here in a moment and get your guys' take on a big trade that as soon as I'm done, I'm going to look up and see just who moved and what. But it's exciting stuff, and I'm glad you guys brought me in this busy week, and I appreciate you as always. Thank you.
Oh, as well, Mike. We and we're going to be talking
many times throughout the season. Have a great call on Saturday night. You're a treasure for Beaver Nation and for us, and thank you for your time as always.
Thanks, Danny. Thanks, Justin. Have a good time out there, guys, and we'll talk again soon. I hope. Thanks.
You bet, sir. Yep. So there he goes, the great Mike Parker, the voice of the Beavers. And coming up next, as we'll go into our last break, we've got Nick Sams, and then we've got pro Jacob Henderson coming up. He's going to give our golf tip. He's got props. Are you kidding me? He's got props, which is great radio as well.
Also,
are we going to be able to squeeze? You know what?
We're not going to have time.
We're not going to have time. When we come back, Danny and Justin right here live at Laurelwood. Stay tuned, folks.
Fox Sports UG.
I'm Danny.
And I'm Justin.
We talk local sports weekdays.
I'm John Canzano, and I talk Ducks and Beavers weekdays.
I'm School Henderson, and this is your home for Trailblazers basketball. 102.9 Fox Sports Eugene.
Fox Sports UG.
I'm Dan Patrick, and you can catch me weekday mornings.
I'm John Canzano, and I talk Ducks and Beavers weekdays.
Hi, this is Justin Herbert. Catch every Chargers game on 102.9 Fox Sports Eugene.
What are you looking for in a realtor? Whether you're buying or selling, you want someone smart, someone who knows the local market and a track record of making their clients very happy. Hi, I'm Susan Heisey, broker owner of Bailey & Heisey Real Estate, an independent brokerage in South Eugene. I've been helping clients make smart real estate decisions for over 20 years. I work with only a handful of clients at a time, giving them a high level of attention and guidance. Call or text when you're ready to discuss your goals.
Fox Sports Newport.
I'm Danny. And I'm Justin.
We talk local sports weekdays.
I'm John Canzano, and I talk Ducks and Beavers weekdays.
Hi, I'm Jerry Allen. Listen to the Ducks on 92.7 FM Fox Sports Newport.
Man, this Medicare stuff is confusing.
That's why I've got the playbook. Let me answer all your questions and get the coverage that's right for you.
Don't make Medicare choices on your own.
Go to turning65withscott.com today.
There's no max out of pocket with original Medicare?
I'm Scott Sims. I've spent years learning the ins and outs of Medicare insurance.
Get the coverage that's right for you.
Don't make Medicare choices on your own.
Go to turning65withscott.com today.
Fox Sports UG.
I'm Danny. And I'm Justin. We talk local sports weekdays.
I'm John Canzano, and I talk Ducks and Beavers weekdays.
I'm School Henderson, and this is your home for Trailblazers basketball. 102.9 Fox Sports Eugene.
Okay. There we go.
We there? Yep. Well,
I'm sorry. It's almost like I gotta hold Justin down right now after this Micah Parsons traded to the Packers contracts release. But we got no time to talk about it. We will definitely spend the first segment. We may get Yogi involved in this tomorrow.
Sure.
When we got Yogi Roth on the program first thing tomorrow, we got big bets tomorrow as well. We're gonna have plenty of time. All right,
We'll figure it out.
All right, out here at Laurelwood for our last segment. We got to race through this. I'm sorry, we're so behind. Thanks again to Mike Parker. That was awesome information from the voice of the Beavers. Hey, look, kids, over here. It's Nick.
Hello.
It's Nick Sams on the YouTube channel. You leave me hanging.
Oh,
over
sorry
there,
about
buddy.
that, bud.
All right, Nick. Let's run through this smoke show coming up this weekend. What do we got going, buddy
Smoke
boy?
show's back on Friday, doing a smoked tri-tip, and we got some smoked potatoes. The chef calls them his Texas-style potatoes. And then we're going into a big college football weekend. So, you know,
Right.
we've got all the big screens. We've got all the channels. We'll be rocking brunch, and every game you can get your hands on this weekend. NFL package starts. So you get to sit back and enjoy that beautiful brunch you and your mom like while catching every football game possible.
Absolutely. What beer am I drinking right now?
Right now, you are drinking
that Latin beer or whatever. It's got the lime in it that
The
Ross gave me.
Cold Fire El Tigre, their Mexican-style lager.
The Tiger.
Yeah. You
See,
speak
I'm-
Spanish.
No, I don't. No, I absolutely do not. But I could make that. I could make that leap from there.
That Chris Farley meant the Spanish for it. The Nino.
El Nino. All right, Nick. Thanks, buddy.
Hey, I love you both. Thanks so much for doing this.
Thanks
This
for
is a
being
big.
here.
Oh no, we're not done. We're regular one is done, but we're gonna pick a good game.
Yeah,
All
we're
right?
going to have a great time doing it once a month, but let's get Jacob in here so we can teach you guys a little bit about golf, and I'm going to jump out of the way.
All right, thanks, buddy.
All right.
The great
See you,
Nick
boys.
Sams. All right, thank you. There he goes. All right, so Jacob is coming in here. The Kula is hopping in, and you brought props. All right, Mr. Henderson,
Yes.
what are we going to learn this week here on our golf tip?
So
Balance, I'm going to say, right?
we are going to talk a little bit about balance, and I'm going to.
This is great for the YouTube folks, by the way. Not great for the.
We're not plugging whoever this is,
All
but
right, beautiful.
we got a balance board right here. Flip it around. It's got that center point. So
Okay.
one of the hardest things for golfers to really learn is the transfer of weight. So a balance board teaches us how to struggle maintaining center of gravity. So we can use these balance boards for full golf swings, half golf swings, three-quarter golf swings, but more importantly, we can actually take this device and actually use it for chipping. Okay. 'Cause
Nice.
For chipping, we really want to make sure that our weight is all the way on our left side, so we're hitting the golf ball first every single time. That is kind of like our full golf swing. So for those that are watching, this balance board right here, this cost me $50 on Amazon.
Wow.
This will last forever. And if you notice on the back, it's got the rubberized grip. You can take it off and replace it. It's just 5M. I think it's 3M stuff. And then on the front, it is just skateboard
material.
It looks like a skateboard, basically.
So
it'll grip your shoe, in other words, right?
It'll really grip your shoe.
Or feet, if you don't want to go sans shoes.
But for those watching, I'll try and get in the middle.
Right.
So when we're chipping, we actually are going to want our trail foot to be on just one side, but half of our foot is hanging off. So the balance board on the far end is pointing straight up to the sky. This will make you feel like your right foot is planted into the ground, and then we can just use our hands and upper body because we don't like doing a whole lot of lower body movement when we're chipping.
All right.
So balance board, get yourselves one, try to make golf swings the best that you can, and you are going to embrace the struggle, and it is one of the hardest drills that you will ever do.
The cooler is awesome. There he is with his great tip, and you can start. We're going to get the YouTube channel going.
Yes.
He's teaching Justin how to play golf. Let's get into that.
We'll see the balance board in action too.
All right, awesome.
All right, it's a pleasure.
All right, let's do Dad joke. There we go. Well, after what we just heard from Jacob, I don't know if this is, it is actually appropriate.
Good.
Hard work pays off later. Laziness pays off now.
That sounds like my life.
Right away. Absolutely. Tomorrow on the program, we're so excited. Big Bets is unveiled for the season. We had so much fun with this last year. We're going to get you involved as well on the Big Bets. We're going to have Yogi Roth on the program tomorrow. So we're going to have the governor back in to talk about Oregon, Montana State. Huge game for the Ducks to break out. And we'll talk about Micah Parsons getting traded to the Packers.
Right.
Are you okay?
I'm okay. I'm better than okay.
I mean, it's like you're lifting up off the seat
know.
right there. All right. For everyone, we've had a great time at Laurelwood. Thanks to everyone out here. Ross, all of them. I'm gonna miss people. So, all right. Put a smiley face on someone else. They deserve it. So do you. God bless. Peace.